Hello class, I just wanted to show you how to set up a scene if you wanted to try to use some dynamics on your obstacle course for your bouncing ball. Um, I'll kind of show you here what could be set up, and then I'll step through like how I put this together. Um, Basically, this ball just drops into this ramp and it can go down and roll. So this works because there's a bullet solver that's been added to the scene, and these objects are creating a collision. So the ball has a detection around the outside of it, and there's forces that are applied to the sphere, and the sphere, it it has this simulated mass, and it falls and it hits this ramp, and then it just goes down the ramp. And so this tool is called Bullet Bullet Solver, and it's a plugin that you can add on the load up in Maya. So I'm going to show you how this was set up. So basically, I have this ramp, and this could be any kind of polygonal mesh. I ended up making this with the helix. So if you see, there's a helix there, and what I did was I have interactive creation mode turned on, and let's see, I have like maybe one turn. And I went into the properties of this, and what I did was I increased the width of this so that I would have something that would work in terms of a ramp. I think the tighter it is and the more turns, probably the faster this thing is going to go down. So I'm going to adjust the height. The subdivision coils just determines how smooth this thing is, and I'll just do 2 coils. Let's move this out of the way for now. I just made up this arena thing. It didn't, I just wanted some kind of context. You can kind of do whatever you would like, but so here, maybe I just make this a little bit taller. That's not going to be exactly like the other one was, but I do need it to be a little bit thicker because I'm going to take this edge loop and I'm just going to push it down. So we're going to increase this width a smidge. Whoops, that's the wrong value anyway. I want to do radius. going to leave it like that. And then I'm just going to open up the modeling tools, and I'm going to grab edge, and I'm going to double click this edge loop that goes all the way down, and then I'm just going to push this down. And then, so that it's not just a sharp corner like that, I'm going to do a bevel. And the bevel can be changed to create a little track. So, definitely want to go into object mode here. So I just want to position this so that when the simulation starts, it will fall into the track. I'm just looking at this and it looks just a little bit too big. It might actually fall out of here. Okay. Alright. So there's the model and the sphere, and then in order to enable this bullet toolbar, you go into Window, at Settings and Preferences, and then go to Plugin Manager, and you just type in BULLET, and it's the bullet Maya plugin. So you can just turn this on if it's not turned on already. Just check these two boxes, and it will load that up in your toolbar so that you can use this. Okay, I just did a simulation of this and the ball flew out of here, so I'm going to adjust this so that we don't have that happen. So I'm just going to make this trough a little bit deeper. And might even be able to throw another bevel on here. Okay, so I'm going to give this another shot here. I'm going to move this up further. This is it's just a kind of a trial and error type of thing. I had a program crash right after I said to save the file. So, I would definitely save this geometry prior to adding any bullet solver to this. Also, I've had this mesh completely disappear when adding or changing it from a dynamic to a static body. So I just wanted to show you this so that you know that it's possible. But here we're gonna change this object to a sphere so that so it can actually rotate. We want to keep this as a dynamic rigid body because it's going to be okay. I'm going to add the helix to a collection, a static body collection, before I do this, I'm going to turn off this cached playback. It turns out that when this is turned on and you add the helix to a static body, or change any of the properties, I should say, it disappears. So this resolves the issue. So I'm going to just go ahead and add it, and there the collision cage is wrong. So we're going to go ahead and change this to a mesh static body. Change this to static body, and when we simulate this, the sphere goes all the way down the ramp, and when it ends at the end, it just falls right through. So what you could do is within the bullet solver, there's an option to enable a ground plane right here. So you click on bullet solver and ground plane, and what happens is it just simulates a ground here. And one other thing that's really helpful is under it's not under here, it's solver display. If you click on, like for example, collision shape, you can kind of see the green represents the collision shape, and here you can see the ground plane here when this is enabled. It's showing you that it's like an infinite plane that's being simulated. And okay, so once you got what looks like a decent animation and you're ready to move to the next step, we have to make keyframes for the object. So right now this is not, there's no keyframes in our time slider here. So we have to bake the animation into keys. So what you do is you select the translation and rotation of the sphere, and you go to Key, Bake Simulation Options. You're going to choose Hierarchy Selected Channels from Channel Box. Okay, and click Bake. This should be 1 here. I'm going to reset the settings here. So it should be selected from channel box, sample by 1, and bake. And you should have our motion curves of your object that can be edited. So over here, moving up on Y, there's many keys. But you can see that this is something that you can edit. Very difficult to edit all these keys, but at least it gets you you know, some idea as to how you could possibly simulate and create animations in this way.